Hello, hello. See, we have a few attendees coming in here. Hi, everyone. My name is Megan Schaefer. Welcome to another Art Cloud webinar for galleries. I am the creative director of Art Cloud, and we are so looking forward to speaking with you all today about website best practices for the art world, for art galleries, how to sell more art using your website, and how necessary a website is in 2025. But we are very happy to have you here today. It's 2 p.m. here at our Atlanta HQ, and we're just gearing up to talk about one of our favorite topics, which is art websites. With me today, I have Alex West, our CEO, who knows this stuff like the back of his hand and will take us
Maybe.
through best practices. Yeah, best practices about uh, everything art gallery specific websites. A little bit of housekeeping to get out of the way before we begin. This is being recorded, and we have a Q&A that will be up and running the whole time. I will be looking out for and trying to answer your questions as we move through our slides. And then you will receive a YouTube link with the recording should you want to watch it again and again via email. From me in a few days' time. And that will come with an invitation to our next webinar in June, which I'm really excited about. We will be speaking with 3 gallerists from all over the United States about how it's going 2025 in different regions of the US, and just have a community roundtable about being an art gallery now. So look out for that from me. And without further ado, thanks again for being here and taking time out of your busy days, and learning from us about websites for galleries. Alex, I'm going to hand it over to you to do a welcome and describe everything that we do here at Art Cloud.
Cool. Thanks, Megan. And thank you guys for being here today. Like Megan said, I'm Alex West. I'm the founder and CEO of ArtCloud, and just grateful that you had to take some time to hear about our thoughts on websites and a little bit more about our product and how we can help you build and maintain a great art website. If you are not familiar with RCloud is an all-in-one art management platform with an integrated website builder. We'll go into some more details about that, but we build tools that help art professionals grow their business. Um, we believe websites matter for a lot of reasons. I think the biggest one is that it is kind of an always-on tool to help you market your work, the work that you're selling, and to introduce strangers and known collectors to your new works, your exhibitions. So even while you're sleeping, it can be working and gathering leads. It can be working on creating sales. And so it's a great tool and should be used as a tool to help you grow your business. Some things in thinking that we're going to cover today that kind of you should be thinking about when you are designing or improving your website are kind of how are you showcasing the artwork itself? Um, how are you structuring some of your SEO? What are your goals for discoverability? What are call to actions on the site? What kind of experiences are you actually trying to create for visitors to your site? Is it more about introducing them to your staple of artist? Is it about exposing them to your exhibition programming? Is it about letting them purchase work, search for work, etc.? Kind of what are those user experiences that you want to facilitate on your site? Showcasing art, I think, can be cut up into 2 different buckets. One is helping visitors or collectors on your website find the right work. So if you are representing super famous artists that people are coming to your website specifically to look for that artist inventory, then maybe you need to showcase your artist page more prominently if you have more of a diverse roster of mid-career artists and you're catering to an audience that are more looking for particular pieces and maybe agnostic to the exact artist, ensuring that you have an artworks page that is going to blend all of those works together can be a great tactic to make sure that people are finding works that they like. One of my favorite analogies to use when thinking about the user experience on an website is pretend that every visitor that comes to your site is a game in a video game, a character in a video game. And everyone starts off with 100% health. And with every piece of friction or resistance that you provide to a visitor on that site, whether that be they have to click on another page, they have to scroll a lot, they have to navigate a bunch of text, every little bit of resistance is knocking away a little bit of their life. And if you happen to knock their life down to zero, that means that they're going to close that tab, or they're going somewhere else, or that they haven't found it in time, and something else has distracted them in their life. And so anything that you're doing on your site, just go back to those first principles, those basics, and try to think about, am I making it really easy for a new visitor on my site to find that inventory detail page? And if you do that, if that's a guiding principle, I think that it will help you with a lot of the kind of endless choices you need to make as you're designing and thinking through your website. Um, Also, kind of when you get to an inventory detail page, it's really important, or it can be very important. It can be very effective if you have multiple images of each artwork. So a lot of times visitors might find an image or a particular artwork that they like. If they don't know the artist, if they haven't been to your gallery in person, having those additional detailed shots can go a long way in instilling confidence in them. And that confidence is needed, that kind of health on the life chart of the video game character matters, because the more confident they are, the more likely they are to inquire about that artwork or make that purchase right there. And when we think about an effective website, we think about the point that the website's job is to convert anonymous visitors into leads for you and your sales team to work. And those leads could be, on one end of the spectrum, an actual sale, and that's great. A lot of times those sales originate from the website, but it's not until the third or fourth or fifth follow-up or interaction with that collector over 2 to 4 weeks that you're actually going to make that sale. And so ensuring that your site is converting as many visitors as possible into some sort of an inquiry or a lead is what we believe is the most effective use of the website. Speaking of which, of items that can, actually, well, sorry, one slide early. The ArtCloud Site Builder is designed to be customizable, so you do not have to kind of stick to a rigid template. Every single thing inside of our site builder is drag and drop, and you can control all the formatting, all the layouts, the structures, etc., all effortlessly from inside the builder. You can see this little animation here. We're showing dragging over a piece of inventory, an inventory block. You can change the number of columns. You can change the sort, like default sort tactics. You can add, sorting and filtering options. Again, helping make it as easy as possible for visitors to discover and find work on your website.
And Alex, to back up just a little bit with the drag and drop, it's important to note that ArtCloud is separated into two products, meaning we have the ArtCloud Manager, which is your business backend, and all of your inventory and your invoicing and all of your business lives in ArtCloud Manager. What you're seeing here with this GIF that we've made is pulling in an inventory block to your drag and drop ArtCloud website that is directly integrated with your ArtCloud inventory. So every time you make a sale or a piece becomes inactive, or if you changed any of the data on a piece, or an artist has told you, I don't want to be represented by anymore, you take an artist off, all of that's immediately reflected on your website based on what you're doing in ArtCloud Manager. This is, a general webinar. Obviously, this is ArtCloud specific, but we like to think this is one of the biggest advantages of using ArtCloud that is specifically for the art world. So with the drag and drop, you're seeing the GIF go through adding different components, but it's pulling in information from the business backend. Just wanted to mention that.
Yeah, thank you. It's not only, and just to double click on the integration for a second,
Mhm.
not only is the website going to integrate with your inventory inside of our cloud manager, it's also going to integrate with your exhibitions. So as you add an exhibition into the platform, that is also going to power your exhibitions page with all those exhibition details. And that's a great, we'll talk about SEO in a little bit, but having that original content of all that exhibition programming on your website is a great way to differentiate your site from other galleries' websites. And also in the integrations kind of bucket, there is not only is your inventory and exhibitions integrated to the website, but also any interactions that customers have, clients have with the website is going to be integrated into your CRM. And that's just a great way. So if someone inquires about a work or signs up for your newsletter, that's going to be immediately added. That client's going to be immediately added to your contact list inside of ArtCloud. They're automatically going to be associated with the artist that they were inquiring on. And so we're starting to help you build out, these segmented audience list of your collectors and what artwork they are interested in. So it's kind of this bi-directional integration between inventory and contacts that just provides a lot of efficiency to your day-to-day operations. When we think about pages, just a lot of galleries, most galleries will have most of these pages, and we think these are kind of like the must-haves. So obviously you need a homepage. It's kind of an introduction to your gallery. Uh, some of the most effective content we've seen on homepages is kind of like just a steady stream of the different detailed pages you might have later on. So a homepage with some exhibitions, maybe a little bit blurb about the gallery, some featured artists, maybe some featured some works or some new arrivals. Like how, as the user scrolls, kind of breadcrumbing out the different things, the different pieces of content that someone might be looking for on your website. Again, having like a shop or artworks list page that might list some of your new arrivals or all of the artwork, letting people search and sort and filter that inventory list is a highly effective way to make sure that they or help users find interesting artwork. Obviously, a list of all your artists. About page, just giving context to the gallery, especially as people that may not know your business are stumbling upon your site from searches or from social media or bots these days. Just giving that background so that you can kind of share your story. A contact page for any kind of general contact forms, and then exhibitions. We're going to talk about SEO specifically in a second, but again, gallery websites have a symptom of all becoming the same. It's these pages.
Mhm.
It's a home page, an artist page, a contact page, um, and oftentimes those artist pages are the same bio for all the galleries. The artist uses the same bio for all the galleries that represent them. So there's not many. If that's all, if those are the only pages you have, there's not a lot of distinction between you and your competitors. And exhibitions is just a great way to provide more domain authenticity to ensure that Google is prioritizing you in search results over some galleries that represent similar artists.
Yeah, I think another note about your website that I'm not sure we wrote in words here. If we did, my apologies. But your website is a living, breathing thing, so it really needs to be updated, kind of as much as your bandwidth will allow. When I'm going to a website, if I go to the homepage, I want to see upcoming events. I want to see highlights. I want to see exhibitions, like you said, Alex. We find that we have a block for exhibitions that is a slider, so it's really interactive, and people can see different images and kind of just a visual change. And so we love when galleries do that. But we see really a lot of creativity when galleries are making their websites, curated collections, art consulting resources, just different things that set them apart. And again, like Alex said, he'll speak to it in a moment, but with SEO, inserting as many unique words as you can that are relevant to what you do as a business, and then switching it up and making sure you're updating. It's easy with an Art Cloud website builder, but making sure you have kind of new, fresh content as regularly as possible.
Awesome. Yeah, thank you. And speaking of which, so SEO. SEO may be one of the most um,
Your favorite topic.
yeah, definitely our favorite ambiguous topics that everyone raises. It is not a silver bullet. Oftentimes we hear galleries conflating the concern of I want to sell more work with I need better SEO. And they are completely different. A lot of times people will say like, I don't have good SEO or I have bad SEO. And uh, we always try to, and we're not saying that we are perfect here, but this is our philosophy on SEO. Our belief is that there are a tremendously large number of individuals and consultants out there that have made a lot of money and want to continue to make a lot of money selling fear and ambiguity to you and to every small business. And so they will go in and look at your site and say, hey, I can make your SEO better. What you should be asking yourself is if my SEO is better and for what terms would we want it to be better? And would that really drive revenue? I'll double click on that in just a second. But a lot of these services can be very expensive, like $3,000 to $5,000 a month, and they're trying to get backlinks to your site, or they're trying to go through your site and tweak content or some different tags. What we've learned is kind of, or what the way we think about it, and what we've learned over and over that works very well is to kind of take a first principles and kind of a KISS, like keep it simple, stupid approach to this. So we think about, you know, again, an effective website is one that's going to generate leads for you and your business. If you believe that people are searching for your artist and that you want to ensure that you are ranking properly, then go back to like that first principle, like, well, what's Google's job? If someone types in the name of an artist and you represent that artist, then Google's job is to make sure that they are finding the gallery that they think has the most authority on that artist name, and they're going to reward that authority by giving it a prominent place on the search results page. So if your website doesn't have an artist bio and has 5 artworks without metadata, um, and the URL for that artist page is yourgalleryname.com/artist ID equals 74. Uh, Google's not going to have a lot of faith that you are an authoritative source, and you're probably not going to get ranked highly for that artist name. If your website has an artist bio, if the page loads quickly, if you have a mobile-friendly version, if there's an SSL certificate, so that's you have the HTTPS kind of secure URL. If you have lots of different artworks and with the proper metadata, then Google's going to start rewarding you. It's going to give you more authority for that artist's name, and it's going to reward you for that authority by ranking your site higher above others on search results. The problem that I alluded to earlier comes up over and over and over again, that gallery websites can largely be the same. It can be a bunch of artist profile pages. Again, that bio can be used across multiple websites. So Google's going to have a really hard time differentiating your website from any other gallery that represents that artist. And so the way that you can improve your authority and thus your ranking is to add more relevant content about that artist to your site. So that can be exhibitions, where in the exhibition pages you're referencing the artist's name, you're adding all that artwork. It can be blog posts about the artist. It can be working with your artist to ensure that they are linking back to their profile page from their website. That may be the single highest leverage thing that you can do to ensure your ranking for artist names, is to entice your artist to link back, not necessarily to your, mygallery.com website, but mygallery.com/artist/Alex West. The actual artist profile page, if the artist Alex West were to link back to that profile page from their website, Google is going to reward that significantly. Having YouTube videos about the artist process that link back to your site, including those YouTube videos on your site, all those types of things are going to give Google a higher sense of confidence that your site is one of authority and worthy of kind of a high ranking for those terms. There's a lot of things behind the scenes that we will do automatically for you around structured data, responsive ability to responsive design, so ensuring that there's a mobile-friendly version of your site, image transformations. Those are things are kind of all out of your hand and managed automatically with an ArtCloud site builder or site. If you're not using an ArtCloud site, then you should definitely look into those things, ensure that you have a mobile-friendly version, ensure that your images are not too large for mobile, quick load times, etc. All those things will make a big impact on your SEO. But again, just going back to that original point, be very careful of what you invest with generic SEO firms, because there's a lot of just kind of a lot of effort is spent with low return on investment in our experience. The other thing to think about is if your site is your site converting enough visitors to those leads? When we think, again, we've said it a couple times in this webinar, but that is the number one job of your website, is to convert visitors to leads. If you don't feel like you're getting a good conversion rate, then optimizing for SEO is again a low leverage activity, because you really want to ensure that your site is doing a good job converting visitors to leads before you go put gasoline on the fire. We have some great analytics inside of ArtCloud that will show you exactly how many visitors came to your website and what percentage of them converted to an inquiry, to a purchase, or a email newsletter subscription. And we also help you benchmark you against other our cloud customers, so you can get a sense of how am I doing. And I think right now we're seeing like an average of 1.886%, so almost 2% of visitors that come to an art cloud website convert to some sort of engagement. And so until you kind of see that kind of above 1.5%, it doesn't make a lot of sense to go invest in ads and SEO, because you need to fix kind of that leaky bucket. Then in software, they talk about this leaky bucket metaphor, where if you have a bucket and there's holes in that bucket, before you go fill that bucket up with a bunch of water, you need to patch those holes, because otherwise, as you dump water in it, you're just losing that water that you're working so hard to gather. So that also kind of leads us to the next point, which is be experimental with call to actions. So it's easy. We've seen a lot of art gallery websites that are just kind of like, here's my data, here's a bunch of artist profile pages, here's a bunch of inventory, and there are no clear call to actions on any of those artwork pages, any of those artist pages. And so the more call to actions you can have on your website, the more opportunities people have to interact and to kind of raise their hand and say, I'm interested in learning more. My name's Alex. Here's my email address. Please contact me. And so being generous with call to actions, and also experimental in kind of what the actual words say. So things like add to cart, or make an offer, or inquire for more information, or I like to see more, or start experimenting with what your collectors might like to see, or what might resonate with your collectors. Um, can be a great way to try to improve that conversion rate of visitors to a level of engagement. Also, sign up forms, keeping them short so that they're easy to fill out. You don't want to have like a 14 field subscription form. Just kind of get their name, get their email address, and then you can always follow up for more information over time. Um, you know, Things like a room view, letting them install artwork against a virtual background. All these things are going to increase engagement, so that visitors have as much. You're kind of meeting your visitors where they are throughout the process. We're going to go through one of my favorite art cloud websites, and then jump into the builder, just kind of give you guys a sense of how it works. And obviously, if you have any questions, you can follow up after this webinar. This is one of our customers in Australia. This is Whitworth Galleries. Um, he built this site with an art cloud site builder. Again, this is a great homepage. It's splashy and fun. He can rotate out this kind of homepage image. He's got a quick link to some new arrivals from Ken Knight, a little bit about his gallery. He's got some of his featured artists, and then a little bit about the two different locations they have, and then featured blog posts. So again, kind of this breadcrumb approach to, hey, you're on my site. Here's 5 or 6 different things I can offer you. Here, if you're interested in this, let's go here. If you're interested in this, you can kind of start your journey down the path. It's not just like a flat page. It's kind of like, go find what you're looking for. If you drill down in on to some of his artists, I think he's got a really interesting call to action here of get price list. So right there on the artist profile page, before you even get to a specific piece of inventory, he's prompting you to raise your hand and say, I'm interested in learning more. I'm interested in getting some info on Ken Knight, which I think is a great way to just, again, meet people where they are. Maybe they're like not ready to make a purchase yet, but they saw this artist, they heard about this artist, they saw this on social media. It's a great way to kind of get that engagement. If someone drills all the way down into that inventory detail page, he's got all the information here. He's got the ability to view that on the wall, and he's got a clear call to action here for inquiries. I also like that he shows related artwork. So a lot of times people might have one artwork at the very end, and it's kind of like this dead end. And if I got there and I wasn't ready to purchase, or that work didn't look as good as I thought it looked when I just saw the small thumbnail, maybe I'm going to leave. I'm going to close that tab and go somewhere else. But if there's other works by that artist, maybe I can keep exploring and find something that might be more interesting to me. So I like that he's showing the related artworks here. He's also got Ken's biography. So if I'm like, oh, I'm interested in this, but I want to learn a little bit more. Why is this special? Why is this worth this cost? Like, what's going on? I can read a little bit more about the artist. And then he's got kind of another kind of, again, another call to action here for show me all the available works by Ken. And then a couple like kind of last ditch effort of like these are just other new arrivals. Let's get you you're looking at some of these other pieces. So I think Peter at Wentworth did a really great job in really thinking about the collector and what their experience is and what they're trying to do. And I think he just did a really novel and unique kind of flow for those visitors. Anything, does that all make sense, Megan? Anything you think you would add?
It sure does. Yeah, I was just thinking about shopping habits in general in the e-commerce world. And I don't know about you guys, but I mean, the recently viewed and they suggested based on this piece or based on this shirt or whatever, that's essentially how I shop. I'm not going back to the top and going back into the drop down menu oftentimes. And it's been proven that people just don't do that. People really are using these blocks at the bottom. And why not for fine art? I mean, it's higher priced. Often people, collectors operate in a different buying pattern than, different types of e-commerce, but it makes sense that you would have, pieces by the same artist. You'd have more information with a lot of storytelling. The way to really sell art, as you guys know, as gallerists, is a ton of storytelling. Make people fall in love with the artist, and then they will spend money on the art. So as you said, this was a great example, Alex. He brought this website to the table, and I was like, this is he does a great job. The price list download is genius. If you can imagine someone who's super busy, they can download that price list, they can print it out and put it on the fridge, print it out and give it to their spouse, like, hey, hint, hint.
Yeah, hint, hint.
Exactly. There is just more and more opportunity for them to get to the end of the video game, to carry on your your
Yeah.
analogy. And you're sort of I'm picturing with every one of these blocks, like we call them blocks in ArtCloud, like a new arrivals block or a recently viewed block of inventory items. Every block is like a ding, 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 and you're making people go down the page on purpose. Whereas if you just have one piece of art, especially if you don't have 4 to 5 images per piece, we have learned that if people just see a flat piece of art, I mean, there's so much less likelihood that they'll actually buy it without seeing it installed or seeing detail shots, being able to zoom in and see, even down to the brushstroke. All of these things make a really big difference when applied to an entire website. So with that, speaking of the details that are applied to each piece of inventory, let's look at the inventory detail page, which is what we call it, which is what you can design in ArtCloud and apply to every piece. So the CTAs, like we talked about, the calls to action, we'll go in and see what that looks like.
Thank you. So
Yeah.
if you are not using ArtCloud, I know we have some customers and some prospects galleries that are not using ArtCloud on this webinar. Highly suggest you go start a free trial. You don't need to add a credit card. Just come in. You can have
We'll give you 2 weeks to build out your whole website
yeah,
on
14 days
us.
to play around. You can
Yeah,
also
yeah.
book a demo. We'll give you plenty of resources after this webinar. But if you have been playing with ArtCloud, this is likely a very familiar view to you. Inside your ArtCloud account, you'll see the website builder right here. This is going to have all of your pages, so your home page, your exhibitions page, your events page, et cetera, et cetera. We've recently moved the page templates into resource templates and put this as a separate tab on the pages page. And like Megan was mentioning, these resource templates are any kind of page that's generated because of your data. So an inventory detail page, an artist profile page, an exhibitions detail page, etc. These are all the different kind of template pages that as you add a new piece of inventory, this is how you're going to control what that layout's going to look like. So we open up this inventory detail page. We can click on any of this and you can see this is all customizable. You can come in here, you can add any text. Um, you can also include the artwork tokens. So these are like things like including the medium, the dimensions, the price, the artist, the title, the notes, any kind of information that you want to show about the artwork can be shown on the inventory detail page. Again, you can also show any of these call to actions. So purchase button. And if you want to change the purchase to, maybe you want to say buy now. Or inquire, if you want to change inquire and maybe change that to, learn more. These are all things that you can customize directly inside the builder. You don't need to go pay a developer to go make these edits for you. You can be experimental and kind of learn what makes the most sense for you and your collectors. So it's really fun that we just like let you experiment and invert all this control so that you can really personalize these pages to your brand and to your collectors. Um, there's obviously a ton of details that we could go into, but our webinar wanted to be kind of more high level and philosophical about what makes a great website. If you're interested in learning more or more details about the inventory or website builder, please sign up for a free trial. You can book a demo with a one-on-one demo with one of our sales associates off the website. There's a lot of different ways to start learning more about it, to play around with it. We have most of the time we offer free data migrations from other platforms. So if you are using another system and you want to come in and try our cloud with your own data, we oftentimes can facilitate that during your trials. So please reach out, raise your hand if you have any questions, and we'll happily walk you through anything. And with that said, if there's any questions you guys have that you want us to answer today, we're happy to do that. If not, thanks for watching, and please come back to ArtCloud and try it out.
Yeah, we're light on questions today. I think we covered a lot of information too, just to say that out loud. That SEO page, the like talking about what a canonical URL is, all of these things, it's not intuitive, I'll tell you that. So if you're feeling overwhelmed by the amount of information, know that it is doable. And ArtCloud has a lot of things in place already upon publish with the new website. So it's very doable. But that said, we have gone over so much today. And if you have any questions at all, support@artcloud.com will get you where you need to go. We do have one question, Alex. Is there
All
a
right.
view on wall feature you recommend? So do you want to go to maybe Wentworth and show an example?
Yeah, absolutely. So you can we
Thanks,
have the
William.
ability to do view on wall built into our cloud. There are some kind of external providers that provide only that functionality, and you may want to use theirs. So it might be a little bit more robust than ours, but we have a great kind of out of the box view on wall functionality where people can see something at scale. They can also choose their own background, and it will kind of scale perfectly to that background, and you can then save that down. So we have one built into the platform that can be added to your website, or you can certainly integrate with any other one. I think we can follow up with this webinar. We've seen one cool one at GGA Gallery. These guys have gone quite a bit further and done some really sophisticated. Let me see if I can find a two-dimensional work that might have this on it. Let's see if they might not have it anymore. They had the ability to do like deep AR, like augmented reality on the platform, but
You
um,
could put pieces like in situ and twist them and turn them around. Pretty
yeah,
intense stuff, but that
yeah,
that is a ArtCloud website that you just saw. So there is an opportunity to use functionality outside of what is built into ArtCloud. But that uploaded image onto that background with the bench that comes with all of our Pro Plus accounts. So it's certainly available with ArtCloud. But yeah, I'm not seeing any more questions. But all of that said, thank you so much for being here today. We again offer free accounts up to 500 pieces if you want to get started in ArtCloud and just kind of feel around and explore the product. There's a lot of features to learn. So going in and starting a free trial or going in and starting a free account is highly recommended. And we would be more than happy to give you a demo and talk about how ArtCloud can best fit your needs as a business. And we hope you have a wonderful weekend. If you have any other questions, let us know, and look out in your inbox in the next couple of days here for a recording and more information. And with that said, thank you so much, Alex. Great job as
thank
always.
you.
And we will see you guys next month about this time for our gallery roundtable. And we appreciate you being here today. Thank you for coming.
Thanks, guys.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye bye.